Namaste and welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua, and for today's hip opening practice, I invite you to have two blocks and a strap. Let's start in a seated position in which your legs are turned out in front of you. You may like to grab your blocks and place them side by side so you have a wide bench to sit on top of. And then maybe even sit towards the front edge of those props so that you can allow your knees to drop lower than the hips, crossing the shins, whether close together, making it easier on the hips, or further apart, making it more challenging on the hips. See what's available, and I invite you to even switch the cross of the leg that's on top. If you have one that you usually place on top or in front, let's switch it up. So in the past week, we've been highlighting the fifth practice within the second limb of the 8 limbs of yoga. And the second limb of yoga is called the niyamas, which are personal practices to do regularly that allow us to connect with our true nature, our inner being. And so this fifth niyama is called Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana is thinking about your bigger picture in terms of your whole lifetime, or if you believe in the afterlife or in reincarnation, thinking of even the larger scope beyond this lifetime of what is most important to you and to whom or what you are devoted to. Thinking of the universe at large, your sense of purpose, and just what deeply inspires you. So with that, Ishvara Pranidhana is surrendering to that larger picture, surrendering to the great creator or the universe or that higher self. Some like to call it that. And allowing our everyday actions, no matter how big or small, could be the action of drinking tea or of having a conversation with someone or driving to work, things that you might even consider mundane tasks. Thich Nhat Hanh, mindfulness teacher, said, any act can be a sacred act with the intention and presence that you bring into it. So what if breathing could be a form of gratitude to that which is breathing you life? What if moving your body was a way to say thank you to that which enables you to have this body? So let's start the practice by checking in with ourselves. As you sit still and maybe close the eyes, begin to observe any sensations you're feeling in your physical body right now. Just noticing what is without having to judge what is as positive or negative. Become aware of the quality of your breath without changing how you're breathing. And how's the breath informing you about your energy right now? Notice your state of mind, state of heart, what's present mentally and emotionally. Let's start to slow the breath down, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Inhaling a little deeper. Exhaling a little slower through the mouth. And continue to deepen your breath little by little, more expansively. And I invite you to reflect on what you appreciate in your life right now. Anything big or small. Offering gratitude. And then begin to set your intention for this practice today. What are you inviting in? What are you cultivating? And to whom or what would you like to offer up your practice today? In the practice of Ishvara Pranidhana. And so as we set our intentions and dedicate our practice to whom or what we're devoted to, let's join our voices chanting Om 3 times. Let in a deeper breath. Let's start to practice a breathing technique that helps to focus, calm, and balance our energy. And it's called Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. So it's done by closing your lips and only breathing through your nose, if you can do that, and softly narrowing the back of your throat so that you can create a gentle whisper to the breath while you lengthen your inhales and exhales evenly. Listen to your breathing now and set the pace, the rhythm for which we'll move our bodies in Vinyasa flow, breath-led movement. And as you hear your breathing throughout the practice, if your breath becomes choppy or silent, do what you need to do with your body, like slow down or take rest, so that you can come back to the slow, steady rhythm that you can hear softly, that you're establishing now. So listening to your breathing, let's make our way to stand at the top of your mat in mountain pose. Now you may like to place 2 blocks in front of your feet so that when you fold down to press the ground, you can press the blocks instead, if needed. So set your feet apart, hips distance or wider and parallel to each other. Bring your hands together at your heart center in prayer, feeling your intention for this practice and moving to that feeling as we offer gratitude to a source of energy for life on this planet, the sun, beginning with sun salutation C. So with your next inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders back and down. As you exhale, feel free to bend your knees if that helps to bow with the feeling of a flat back. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge, gaze up. Holding your breath, step into plank pose. As you exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward and soften your shoulders back to a gentle cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, press up, and lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb and lower your right knee, gazing up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Press down to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms forward to rise, rolling your shoulders back in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, trace your palms in prayer from your crown to your heart center. Side two. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow forward from your hips. Feel free to bend the knees, Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips on the earth, and this time, inhale, step the right knee back. Kneeling lunge, look up. Holding your breath, step into plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slide forward and draw your shoulder heads back, cobra pose. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and fold. Rooting down to your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising into a gentle back bend. Exhale, join your palms in prayer at the heart. Let's move on to Sun Salutation A. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow forward. This time, press your hands on your blocks, shins, or the floor as you inhale to lengthen your spine forward, half forward fold. Stepping to plank, engage your abdomen and exhale, glide forward, lowering halfway down while hugging your elbows towards your ribs in Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale either into Cobra or upward facing dog, drawing your shoulders back. Exhale into downward facing dog. Let's take a few extra breaths to move your body any way it might need to loosen up here. You might pedal your feet in place to warm up the backs of your legs. You might also swivel your hips side to side to stretch the sides of your torso and outer hips. Or maybe shake and nod your head to help relax your neck while you float your shoulders back. Tune into a few more deep breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana. After emptying this breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Press with your hands and inhale, lengthen your spine forward in Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale, again fold. Press down with your feet. Inhale, root down to rise up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, center your palms in prayer. Now let's flow through that a couple more times. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Pressing with your hands, inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Walk to plank. Some of you might jump lightly to Chaturanga if you normally practice that. And lower through your own Vinyasa at your pace of breath. You could also lower knees, chest, chin. Then choose Cobra or upward facing dog. Choosing what is most appropriate for your body throughout this practice. Remember, you're in charge of your body, so listen to it. In downward dog, pause for 2 breaths in stillness. Let your eyes land on one focal point to help focus. When you've emptied your second breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Press with your hands again. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, again, fold. Rooting down, inhale, sweep the arms forward, rising all the way up. Lift your heart towards the sun. In gratitude, join your hands in prayer at the heart. One more time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Either step to plank, lower knees, chest, chin, or float to Chaturanga and move at your pace of breath through your Vinyasa. This time in downward dog, pause, cultivating stillness for 2 slow breaths. When you've emptied the second, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, slowly rise up, lifting your heart towards the sun. Exhale, marry your palms in prayer. Let's move into our third series of sun salutations. Sun salutation B. Bring the inner edges of your big toes to touch to prepare for chair pose. On your next inhale, bend your knees together to touch and sit low, leaning back towards your heels in Utkatasana, raising the arms, chair pose. As you exhale, shift your weight forward and hinge from your hips, Uttanasana. Press with your hands, inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Walk to plank, float to Chaturanga. Insert your version of Vinyasa here. This time in downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. As you exhale, step the foot gently beside your right thumb and spin your left heel down. Inhale, slowly rise to warrior one. Ride your exhalation down into your Vinyasa. Breathing in as you lift your chest. Breathing out to downward facing dog. Side 2, inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, step the foot gently beside your left thumb and spin your right heel down. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale all the way down through your Vinyasa or cat-cow if you need to conserve your energy. Downward facing dog, cultivate stillness, steadying the gaze, your eyes, for 3 to 5 breaths. Notice the quality of your breathing. Rebalance and slow it down again. When your breath feels smoother, calmer, and steadier, empty it before you walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat, forward fold, with feet together. Then inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees together. Inhale, sit low in Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. One last time, Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Walk or float, lower through your Vinyasa at your pace of breath. When you arrive in downward dog, inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale the foot beside your right thumb, spin the left heel down. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Ride your exhale down into your Vinyasa. And continue onto your left side, flowing to your own breath pace. The inhale to lift, the exhale to lower. Pausing in downward dog or resting, maybe in child's pose if needed, for 3 to 5 rebalancing breaths. When you're ready, empty your breath, then walk or float to the front of your mat, forward fold, with feet touching. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands in prayer, mountain pose. From here, please take your 2 blocks and turn to face the wide width of your mat, stepping your feet very wide apart, almost as wide apart as you can splay the hands apart. Place your blocks behind your calves on their tallest height and parallel your feet. Bring your hands behind you to clasp, or if easier, grab a strap to hold between the hands. Now, if you could hug the heels of the palms together, try that. Breathing in, lift your chest and draw your shoulders back. Breathing out, hinge from your hips, tilting your weight as far forward as you can balance, dropping your head. Now, if your back tends to round, bend your knees so you're not rounding your back. We're here for a few breaths in this version of wide-legged forward fold, or Prasarita Padottanasana. So as you're stretching your arms further and further away from your lower back, slightly bend your elbows and lift your shoulders away from your neck. See how much space you can free up in your neck. Couple more breaths. Bending your knees, lead with your chest. Inhale to slowly rise. Release the arms and open up your arms, turning out your right leg from the hip 90 degrees to face the short edge of the mat. Turn in your left leg 45 degrees, aligning your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Now, I'm not mirroring you here, so make sure you're keeping track of your left and right. So arms wide open, relax the shoulders and stand tall. Evenly press down through both feet and glide your hips sideways towards your left heel while lengthening your torso past your right knee. Lower your right fingertips gently on your right shin or just to the right of it, either on a block or the floor as you raise the left arm. Now you want to feel that you're not collapsing into your right side and shortening the right side of your torso. So the right hand is just lightly pressing off as you put more weight on your feet. See if you might be able to spiral your chest slightly to face the sky, choosing one point to rest your eyes on for the last 3 breaths in Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let's take the same shape and balance on one foot in half moon pose. Keep the breath steady and look down ahead of your right foot. Steady your eyes. Walk your right fingertips onto the ground or a block, about 6 inches forward of your right pinky toe out to the right corner. Drag your left foot in and flex it off the floor, recreating the shape of triangle pose as you open your chest. How's your breathing here? Ardha Chandrasana. Now really gently bend your right knee and step your left foot back to the floor. Keep the right knee bent and pause. Just a couple of breaths, grounding in Warrior Two. Straighten your legs, parallel your feet. And from neutral, let's switch sides. Turn in your right leg 45 degrees and turn out your left leg 90. Align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot and reopen your arms. Relax the shoulders, root down equally through both feet. And on the in-breath, glide your hips sideways towards your right heel while lengthening your torso past the left knee. Lower your left fingertips gently on your left shin or just to the left of it, either on a block or the floor. Wrap your left outer hip under you and tack the crease of your left hip back towards your right outer heel. while spinning your chest slightly to face the sky. Relax both of your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Now let your eyes land on one spot, steadying your drishti, your gaze. 3 more breaths here in Trikonasana. Stay aware of your breathing and balancing it. Gaze at the ground ahead of your left foot and start to shift into half moon pose, walking the left hand upper left corner of the left foot, dragging the right foot in and flexing it. As you regulate your breathing, let it support your feeling of balance. On your next slow exhale, bend the left knee and step back into Warrior Two, pausing for a couple of breaths. Virabhadrasana 2. And from here, step up to the top of your mat with feet together. Now, we're going to come into a sequence of balancing postures, but first we'll start in twisting chair. For the balancing posture, you may want to have a strap. So why don't you go ahead and grab the strap just in case, so you don't have to look for it later, and just put it on like a scarf where it's easiest for you to access. Bring the inner edges of your feet together, join the hands, and recenter on your breathing. Recenter on to whom or what you are offering this practice for. In light of Ishvara Pranidhana and your bigger picture, let's bend the knees together in chair pose. Draw your hips back, keep your legs still, and exhale, begin to twist to the right in twisting chair. So as you keep each kneecap equidistant to the front edge of your mat, drawing the left hip back, spiraling the left ribs towards the right wall. Keep the heart higher than your hips. Relax the shoulders down the back. Notice the quality of your breathing for 2 more breaths here in Parita Utkatasana. See if you can sit a little lower, raising the arms in chair. Shift your weight onto your left foot and bend the right knee off the floor, flexing the right foot as you catch your right knee with 2 hands. Press the ground with your left foot and stand tall, balancing the height of your left and right hips. Now, if this is challenging, stay here and just play with finding your balance. If you have your balance, then place the left hand on your left hip. Either keep the right knee bent as you open the leg to the right, or either use a strap around the ball of your right foot flexed, holding the strap with the right arm inside of the right leg, to kick the leg straight as you pull the strap. Or if you can keep the spine upright and clasp the right big toe with the peace fingers, you don't need the strap. So once this feels steady, then start to rotate your right thigh externally at the hip, turning out the thigh. Then open the right leg, open the left arm out to their sides. Hand to big toe pose. Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Couple more deep breaths in this version of the pose. Start to bring the right leg in front of you and switch hands holding either the strap, the outer foot, or the bent outer knee. With your right thumb, hook the crease of your right outer hip and press it down. As you press the floor away and stand taller, breathe in. Keep the legs still and begin to twist to your right as you breathe out, little by little. If your balance feels pretty stable, you might reach your right arm towards your back wall. You might gaze towards your right thumb, but don't add anything if you're still trying to find your balance. Find stability on one level before entering the next level of the pose. Last few breaths. Parita Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana, twisting hand to big toe pose. Staying in the twist, look towards the front of your room, then raise the arms, keep the right leg lifted and breathe in. Step the right foot down and rest a hand on your chest, a hand on your belly, maybe close the eyes for a few deep breaths. Tuning inward. What do you notice? Has your breathing changed? See if you can keep that gently audible, slow rhythm as we enter side 2 of this series. Now you probably have a better idea whether or not you're going to use a strap, so if you are, you might wear it as a scarf. Bring the feet together in chair pose, bending your knees. Join your hands and breathe in as you slide the hips back, lengthen the spine forward. Keep the pelvis still and exhale, start to twist to your left, breath by breath. So by not twisting the pelvis, stabilize your lower back. Parita Utkatasana. One more deep breath. Sit a little lower, arms up, chair. Shift your weight to your right foot and catch your left knee as you rise to stand on one leg. Flex the left foot, pause and breathe. Steady your balance. If you're still steadying your balance, stay here. Don't go any further. Otherwise, bring the right hand to your right hip. Either keep the left knee bent and open it, or bring the left arm inside of the left leg. Whether you're using a strap or clasping the big toe, straighten the left leg to your degree so that you're kicking the foot away from you while you're pulling the foot towards you. Rotate your left thigh externally at the hip. Then abduct your left leg and right arm, which means move them away from the midline of your body. A few more deep breaths. Bring your left leg forward, switch hands holding the outer foot this time, or the strap or the knee bent. Use the left thumb and hook your left outer hip down, pressing the ground, breathe in and lift up through your spine. Keep your legs still and exhale, start to rotate your rib cage to the left. Optional to add reaching the left arm behind you. Optional to add gazing towards your left thumb. A few more breaths. Keep your left leg lifted as you gaze towards the front of your room. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, mountain pose. Hand to the heart, hand to the belly. Maybe close the eyes for a few deep breaths. On your next inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders back and down. Exhale, forward fold. Optional to flow through another vinyasa here, or meet us straight in downward facing dog. Now in downward facing dog, from your right hip socket, rotate your right thigh externally. Then cross your right shin in front of your pelvis onto your mat, lower to sit. Left leg straight behind with toes tucked. Single pigeon pose. Place your hands alongside your hips and lifting the pelvis, draw your right outer hip back. Rotate your left outer hip forward. Now as you keep your two hips facing forward, if there's a gap between your right glute and the floor, fill that gap with maybe a block or another prop. And relax your back toes. So I invite you into a back bend here. You can plant the fingertips in front of you and roll the shoulders back like upward facing dog. Or you could start to move towards king pigeon, in which you backstroke your left arm, bend the left knee, and take hold of your left ankle or foot, gently bringing it closer. Now, if you imagine you're scissoring your legs, you can find your balance and raise the right arm. Maybe go further and slide the top of your left foot into the crook of your left elbow, clasping both hands overhead, often called mermaid pose. Now, king pigeon is where you flip the grip of the left hand and hold the left toes with both hands, bending the elbows towards the sky, no wider apart than your shoulders distance. You could also use a strap for support in this. So whatever variation of back bending in pigeon pose, let's tune into 3 last deep breaths. Gently make your way back to downward facing dog, lifting your right leg up in the sky and either shaking it out, rotating it at the hip, or adding another back bend, wild thing, where you flip it over, stepping the ball of your right foot outside the left edge of your mat, keeping the left leg straight to push the floor away with the foot as you lift your pelvis and drop your head back. Let's move through a lion's breath here. Gather in a deep breath. Stick out your tongue, let out any sound. And come back to downward facing dog. From the left hip socket, rotate the left thigh externally, then cross the left shin in front of your pelvis. Lower to sit, tucking the right toes, then frame your hips with your hands, lifting the pelvis. Tack your left hip back and rotate your right outer hip forward. Squaring your hips, notice if it's helpful to place a block under your left glute to maintain that. Relax the back toes and plant the hands in front of you, either an upward facing dog variation or backstroke the right arm, bend the right knee, catching the foot or ankle, or bring the top of the foot to the crook of the right elbow, clasping the hands in mermaid, or flipping your grip, maybe with the help of a strap, coming into king pigeon. So wherever you are, last 3 full breaths. Gently step back into downward facing dog. This time raising your left leg and giving it some movement, or flipping it over into the back bend called wild thing. Stepping the ball of the left foot outside the right edge of the mat as you keep the left knee bent. Right leg straight, lift the pelvis, drop the head back. One more lion's breath. Let in a deep inhale. Open your mouth wide, any sound, let it go. And let's make our way all the way to the floor, lying face down for our last back bend in bow or bound locust. Let's actually start in bound locust, and you can either stay there or transition from there into bow. Slide your knees close together with the legs straight, pointing your toes back. Press the tops of your feet on the ground. If you've got any issues in the lower back, keep your feet flat on the floor the whole pose, taking bound locust. Bring the hands behind you to clasp. See if you can hug the heels of the palms together. And on your next inhale, draw your shoulders back, lifting your chest and lifting your head as you slightly look down. You're in it, 5 to 10 breaths. Stay here or bend the knees and catch your feet or ankles, kicking the feet away as you pull your feet towards you, lifting the knees. Try to keep the knees no wider apart than hips distance in bow, Dhanurasana. When you're done, let your body rest. Deep breaths. Place your hands alongside your ribs and press up to hands and knees. Tabletop. Let's come into a spinal twist called thread the needle. Pressing the ground with the left hand, inhale, raise your right arm. Exhale, thread it underneath your left bent elbow and lower the right side of your head all the way down. If your head does not comfortably rest on the ground, use your blocks as a pillow. As we enter the cooling down part of our practice, you might try lengthening your exhales slightly longer than your inhales to promote deeper relaxation. Gently press up to all fours again. Pressing the ground with your right hand, inhale, sweep your left arm towards the sky. Exhale, thread the left arm under your right bent elbow and lower the left side of your head all the way down. Feel free to use a prop. Breathing in for maybe 5 counts. Breathe out for maybe 7 counts. Let's ease our way into child's pose, bringing the inner edges of your feet to touch and sinking your hips down to your heels, knees together or apart, resting your arms wherever it's comfortable. Rest your forehead down. And here you might continue breathing out slightly longer than you breathe in. Feeling a sense of grounding as you sink your body into the earth. Walking your hands to your outer knees. Press the ground as you inhale to slowly roll your spine upright to sit. Let's straighten the legs in front of you for seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Now you may like to use a strap around the balls of your feet, especially if you tend to round the shoulders so that you can relax them more easily. Flex your feet and press the insteps forward, grounding your sitting bones. Breathe in and lengthen up through the back of your skull and through your chest. As you exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips, taking this breath by breath to your capacity without rounding the back. Paschimottanasana. Pressing the pelvis down, breathe in. Lead with your chest to rise up. Please find a comfortable way to sit for one more pranayama practice to help us tune inward and relax more deeply for Shavasana and 5 minutes of sitting meditation. I'll invite you into alternate nostril breathing or Nadi Shodhana pranayama, which helps to balance your energy, promotes neural integration, the balancing of left and right hemispheres of the brain. So resting your left hand on your lap, you might place the left hand in Gyan Mudra to help tune inward. That's the palm face up, the thumb and index fingers touching. Place your right hand in Vishnu Mudra, sticking out the thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. As you close the lips and continue breathing through the nose, but much softer this time. Very gentle breaths. We'll use the right thumb to close the right nostril like this, and the right ring and pinky fingers to close the left nostril like this. Alternate nostril breathing. Let's practice 3 cycles together and 3 cycles on your own before letting go of controlling the breath. Prepare to start, maybe closing the eyes by emptying this breath. With right thumb, close right nostril. Inhale through left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 2, 1. Close the left nostril. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Second cycle. Inhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left. 6. Hold 2. Close left. Exhale right. 6. Hold 2. Inhale right. 6. Hold 2. Close right. Exhale left. 6. Hold 2. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. When you finish, let go of controlling the breath and observe how you feel. And when you're ready, gently lower your body to the ground. Find a comfortable way to lie down and rest in stillness for a few minutes of Shavasana, corpse pose. Notice how your body feels now. Be gentle as you start to wake up your body little by little. Start with small movements. Ease into simple stretches. Keeping the eyes closed to help tune inward. Gradually turn over onto your right side, resting your head. Spend a few moments observing the quality of your breath now. And notice how your energy feels. As you're ready, slowly lift your body upright. Please find a comfortable way to sit for 5 minutes in meditation. You may like to place both hands in Gyan Mudra and perhaps close the eyes. I invite you into focusing on to whom or what you have offered this practice today. Sensing your relationship and connection to that. And maybe visualizing an image of that bigger picture or that someone or creator or source, something that symbolizes them. Notice what you feel in your mind and heart right now. And as we integrate our practice into our daily lives, in what ways do you practice reverence for that which you are devoted to? Closing the practice, allow a moment to offer gratitude to whomever you wish. Remind yourself of your intention for today's practice. And remember to whom you dedicated this practice. Let's close together, chanting the sound of interconnection, Om, 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Bow in towards your heart center, acknowledging the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.